What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to your favourite football channel, Real Reds Talk, and this is your lightning news show. We've got a lot of topics to get through. We're going to get through them in quick fashion, just exactly how you want it. Bing, bang, bosh. And the first story we're going to kick things off with is the biggest one that's been all over social media today, and it is, of course, Lisandro Martinez. Now, Sam, we both know the whole kind of detail of it. We've not surprised if we haven't followed his fucking medical records at this point, because we was absolutely devastated when he picked up that injury in yesterday's game. And it's been confirmed now by Manchester United official that Lisandro Martinez has sustained an injury to the medial collateral ligament in his knee, which I've never heard of.
It's the MCL. So you've got like 3 ligaments in your knee. You've got the MCL, PCL, which is the posterior collateral ligament, and then the ACL, which is the bad one, which if you do that, that's it, you're out for a year and you're done, which is the anterior cruciate ligament, which is the big thick one that goes over your kneecap. Okay. So that was what everybody feared, that he had that one, because if he has that one, that's it, he's done for 8 months, 9 months. So
right, interesting. So Dr. Sam there with your update.
Only because in terms of... I've had the issues. I know every ligament. Yeah. I've done it. I've been there, done it. So that's the only reason.
Should have just played it off and just been like, yeah, I just know it. I just know it. But yeah, he's expected to be out of action for 8 weeks. I think he's going to miss the Manchester derby. Could potentially miss the game against Liverpool, games against Luton, FA Cup ties, like quite significant games, and probably won't be back until March, end of March. Potentially.
The Brentford game they're looking at, apparently.
Potentially, just depending on recovery and things like this. And it's a massive blow, and not to state the obvious, Sam, but to get, injured last season, out for 6 months, comes back, postponed again, out for another 3 or 4 months, however long it was. I mean, we've just started getting into a run of form now where he's, in my opinion, the most important player in the team, and then this happens. It's like such a fucking setback, innit?
Yeah, we've had suffered with injuries quite badly this season, haven't we? Like, we've had everybody out that we needed last season. That was important to the team, including Kobbie Mainoo for the first couple of months. God knows that. Like, how did we do without him? Now, if you have a look at the impact he's had on the team, imagine if he was there since the start. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So to be without Licha, he is, if not the most important, he's in the top 3 people that is integral to this team in the way we play. Defensively solid, passing, attacking, the pressure on the ball. He's just pressure resistant, like everything that you want in a centre back. Leadership, all that stuff. He's absolutely integral to this team, and without him, we're gonna look a lot worse, and there's gonna be tricky because all of the centre backs, bar Licha, have had moments in their United careers where they haven't looked that great. Maguire for a long time. Lindelof at times has not looked great. Varane as well, not looked great. Johnny Evans, who's 36, it's like, how reliable is he? How much can he play? And then you've got a young centre-back in Willy Kambwala. His first season, not really sort of expected to do much. So, yeah, massive, massive blow. And I think we're all gutted. The only sort of good news is that it's not the ACL, because if it was the ACL...
Not a career ender as well, that's another one. Where
if it's an ACL, you're done. Like, when I think Van Dijk did his ACL for Liverpool, he was out for 8-9 months, so that would have taken him to like halfway through next season. So, yeah, it's good that it's not that, but it's still, gutting that he's going to miss very important games. And like you said, especially with the run we've just started to get on and get some momentum and get some victories, he's going to be really, really massive miss.
It's one of them, innit, because he's such a pleasure to watch. Like, if you are a proper footballing guy and you watch Lisandro Martinez, he is a breath. Like, he's everything you want in a centre-back bar. He might not have the height and the physicality, but he makes up for that in everything else. His reading of the game's phenomenal. Just his attitude, we fell in love with him instantly as soon as the first season in the club, man, where he does that interview after the game and he's like almost in tears talking about, the fans singing Argentina at the Stretford End and making him feel so welcome. Like, he instantly fit in, didn't he?
The Liverpool game where we won and he's fucking just smashing the ground.
Yeah.
And just fucking,
smashed into Salah as well,
Salah,
was it? I think.
I was like, this dude gets it. He fucking understands
100%.
Exactly what this club's about. And we've got a weird history with Lisandro Martinez. You scouted him. Like, when we were looking at when Erik Ten Hag first came to the club and we had the shitty graphics and not quite working out on Zoom and all that sort of stuff. You scouted him. You scouted Lisandro Martinez and you thought he was going to be an important player for United if we could sign him. And there you go. There's a
Yeah, I've also mentioned other players as well who haven't worked out well. We won't mention them, so yeah. I'll take the praise. But yeah, it's a huge blow. Do you think the centre backs that we've got? I mean, it's obviously going to hinder our style of play to a certain extent. There's no one who can play out from the back like him, and he gives the midfielders confidence in front of him. Onana's probably better. Next, whoever plays alongside him's better. Yeah. So you take that away, and you start to get them kind of defects and defaults again, don't you, in the team? Do you think that's going to be a hindrance, or do you think we've got enough maybe to keep getting results in the next few games?
On pure numbers, we've got centre-back cover. Like, we've got all our centre-backs pretty much back now, haven't we? Like, Johnny Evans is good. Lindelof is good. Now, Harry Maguire's back. We've got Willy Camboala. Varane is not injured. So we've got technically all our centre-backs. But like you said, when you take Lisandro out, it just destabilises that centre-back pairing. And when he was out at the end of last season, how we solved it was we put Luke Shaw at the centre-back thing. And it sort of, that looked quite good. It was him and Lindelof were playing, wasn't it, I think?
I think so, yeah, at the time.
Really, really good pairing. And I thought they were excellent. But the problem is, we don't have fullback cover at the minute. We've got no fullbacks. Like, our fullbacks, like, if Dalot or Shaw are out, we're fucked because we don't have fullback cover. Like,
exactly.
Like, Wan-Bissaka,
and then you take it away from left back as well. Then, like, he opens it up for Rashford, doing them kind of overlapping runs and the assistance he provides. You take that away, and it's.
But you've got, like, Dalot, I think, the last couple of games has played extremely well. I thought Dalot has been excellent the last couple of games.
Really good.
So, you could then shift him onto the left and still have that thing, but we don't have a right back fit right now beside Dalot because Wan-Bissaka's out with a personal injury. I don't know what that is, but that's what Ten Hag said. So you can't shift Luke Shaw over. And then the one sort of the two cover left backs that we had, we sold Alvaro Fernandez to Benfica, who was a very promising left back, and then Malacia, who we be sticking on milk cartons at this point because I don't know where he is. I don't know what's happening with him. He's been saying he's coming back for weeks, and I've not seen or
Tyrell
heard
missing.
So, so it's just like it's a tricky situation, man, because the ideal thing would be shift Shaw over there, but we don't have a fullback cover.
Well, I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts. We've got more and more people joining the chat, so let us know how you feel about the Licha injury. You're most likely gutted, like us, but who would you like to see in replace of him? Who do you think can do a job there? Would you bring Luke Shaw into centre-back? Would you be happy playing Maguire and Varane there? Who do you think is the best combination? Talk to us and I'll read a couple of your comments out now. Prav in the chat saying, hi boys, praying for Licha. Likewise with us, sir. S Edits says, Licha's so important to the team. Without him, we look so open at the back. Charlie Malman saying, freak accident. Also, if the West Ham player had not braced himself, Licha injury could have been 200% worse. But the weird thing is, though, Sam, he picked up an injury in the game before that, didn't he? And we was like, oh my God. And they took him off as a precaution. So it was kind of like a close miss there. And then for it to happen again, it's like, how fucking unlucky can you be, man?
During the game as well, like, he went down, didn't he? And he went off, and then he came back on. And I personally, I was like, just take him off as a precaution. We were 2-0 up at the time. Like, just take him off as the precaution, and then maybe we wouldn't have aggravated the injury further because he then went back on for like 5 minutes and then that was it, done. And I'm like, but
risky one, isn't it?
Hindsight's 20/20 and all that, isn't it?
And it's weird because his injury, like previous injuries before, he virtually had none. Like he had a couple of knocks and that was it. And then since he come to United, a big metatarsal one, another setback, and then this knee one. You're like, fuck it, it's so gutting, man. Charlie's saying Maguire looks solid except for one mistake yesterday. Lucky for us, Emerson is as selfish as Rashford is from time to time. Malacia is set to return.
When?
Well, I don't know.
When's he set to return?
It's when and how fit is he and how much form is he going to be in and do you want to chance that? Like, there's a headache, but Ten Hag's had headaches all season, I suppose, so he's kind of used to it. I'm going to move on the headache to another headache, depending on your take of this transfer story. Apparently, Galatasaray want to sign Christian Eriksen before their transfer deadline on Friday. How do you feel about Eriksen in a minute, Sam? Because he's not really got many minutes, has he, in the team. He's one of those that if he went, for me personally, I wouldn't be absolutely gutted. But he's still an option there, and if you need that little bit of extra creativity, a bit of calmness, he's the guy in it.
Yeah, I think the issue is because we don't have that number 6 Rodri type destroyer, who does everything. you can't really fit Eriksen into your team. You sort of need two players who have the ability to do defensive for the thing, and it's working at the minute with the Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo. That seems to be working really well. And the other position he could play is Bruno's position. And he's not going to drop Bruno, is he? He's his captain. He plays.
I've never seen Eriksen there, really. Maybe once, I think, from memory.
So it's hard to see where he fits into this team. Like, I'd love to see him sort of come on, like, say we're 2-0, 3-0 up. Like, I'd love to see him come on for Bruno. So, like, give Bruno a shot and give him minutes and stuff like that. Or say you're 2-3-0 up. Instead of bringing Scott McTominay on, you bring on Christian Eriksen. And you can sort of like, because they'll start to commit onto you then to get the goal, and then you leave gaps in for those passes and stuff like that, and you can 4 or 5 goals. So I'd love to see him used in that, and then maybe when there's games against like opposition that are going to sit back and you have to unlock him, that's where he comes in. But you sort of don't tinker with what's not broken at the minute, do you? Like, that midfield is working really, really well. So
yeah,
I think he'd be hesitant to change that, so that it finds it difficult to where he fits in. We got him for free, so anything we sold him for is all profit, isn't it? Like, it didn't cost
I don't think it's going to be much anyway, is it? Like, it's not going to be 20, 30 mil, but maybe you could pick up a 5 to 10 mil potentially.
He's 30, 31. He's had a few injuries here. Obviously, the heart issue as well. Like, he seems to get knackered towards 70 odd minutes.
Yeah.
He seems to sort of tail off a little bit. So I like the guy a lot. I think he's got qualities. I think he's got a fantastic passing range, one of the best in our team. But I wouldn't be super sad to lose him. I don't know about the legitimacy of the source though. Like, the source doesn't seem that legit to me. But so there you go.
Yeah, I liked Eriksen, especially when he first came in. I thought it was a proper shrewd signing. I think we all kind of agreed on that. And he was big for us in a lot of moments, because we went from McTominay and Fred to Eriksen playing in there, and it was like a world of difference. So when he first came in, a really, really good job, but then you can start to see his kind of defects in the big games where he just ain't got the legs to be keeping up with it. And now you've got Kobe and Casemiro in there. It's like, I don't think anyone's going to get in that midfield, to be honest with you, now at the minute. So I wouldn't be, likewise with yourself, I wouldn't be too kind of disheartened by him going. And I'd also understand it, because I think him going to another league, I think he'd probably be the most appreciated player there. Like, you look at the players that Galatasaray have signed, like Zaha and Ziyech and these kind of guys.
Mertens. Did Fred go to Galatasaray?
No, Fred, he went to
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce. Yeah, but even still, like, going to a club like that would be appreciated, in it, and he'd obviously get the game time that he's looking for, and it's a much more less intense league, so I think it would be fitting, but just depends on the source, I suppose, doesn't it? So we'll see what happens. You mentioned in the chat there was something to do with ratification. I should have this on a note. Do you want to just pick that out for us? Just let us know what that was about.
Sorry, I've just seen Mikel Antonio wearing some sort of beret on Sky.
Of course.
I don't know what the fuck he's wearing. Anyway,
they're running out of ideas.
That proper distracted me. That I was just looking at it. Like, what the
I forgot City were on tonight, to be honest with you. It's City, innit?
City and Brentford.
Yeah.
But there was a listing apparently put on the SEC, which is like the Stock Exchange Commission. I think that stands for.
Right. Okay.
Whatever I can't remember what it stands for, but basically they're responsible for any sort of sales of stock or any sort of future sales of stock has to be announced, and it has to be sort of put into this system and stuff like that and set up ready to go. So once the deal with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers is ratified, they're able to transfer that stock over to him or to the company that he's using to buy it. So some paperwork got released that revealed that this system is set up and it's ready to go, which indicates that the possible ratification could be happening within the next week or two.
Ornstein mentioned something about that.
Yeah, I was just about to read that. It said 25% is reportedly set to be approved by the Premier League within the next 2 weeks. So it could be this week or next week. But if they're listing on the SEC, it would indicate that it's going to probably be sooner rather than later. So yeah, it looks like it's the closest it's probably ever been at this point.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there's a lot of shit already going on behind closed doors, and then we're not kind of sitting. Well, we know a lot of stuff has happened, but even more to that, there'll be stuff ongoing. I think when that's announced as well, I think that'd be particularly important for the sporting director who they're going to bring in alongside Omar Barada. So I think that will get announced once all that's done. Of course, transfer window's already finished, so you can't have any kind of effect in that. That'll be in the summer, and I'm interested to see what kind of operation they're putting in place for the summer and how ruthless they're going to be. Because if things are to believe that's being put out there in social media and by journalists and reports and stuff, there's going to be some proper strong decisions that are made, and I'm here for it. I'm sure you are yourself.
Yeah, we've seen in January they basically used January to get a lot of players off the books. Most of them on loan. I've seen Donny van de Beek go, Alvaro Fernandez, Pellistri. I'm sure there's another one I'm missing as
There's
well.
loads. There's loads.
But yeah, a bunch of off the books, there's wages off the books, and then there's a lot of buy options there as well, I believe, not obligations but options. So you could see a few of them going. I imagine Donny's probably going to go. I don't see him coming back to the club, to be honest with you. I imagine he goes.
He's not even been included in the Europa League squad, has it? Europa Conference League for Frankfurt, which is bizarre. I don't know why.
But, yeah. I assume Alvaro's going to go because he's got certain clauses where I think he plays 50% of his minutes or 50% of the games, it's automatic buy option anyway, so he'll end up going anyway. So I imagine he'll go, and then you'll probably see a few people, maybe like Scott McTominay, maybe Harry Maguire, people like that go in the summer and be sort of let go off the books and get some cash in, get some wages off, which then frees up a bit of FFP or the profit and sustainability rules, I think it's called. That'll free that up. Plus, I believe Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to inject cash into the club in terms of like stadium renovation, training facilities, all that sort of stuff. So there will be money there to play with in the summer. I think this January was just about getting players out and getting players off the books in order to be in a best possible position come the summertime. So it'll be interesting to see who they get as like a sporting director, football director, whatever the title's going to be. That's going to be the most interesting part in the next couple of weeks, and I hope they start. So, or if they've not already, I hope that's already like starting to get put in place. Whether that's Dan Ashworth, apparently it's not going to be Paul Mitchell, but whoever it is, as long as they're experienced, they've been in the game, they know what they're doing, I'm happy.
Yeah, get them in as soon as possible. Whilst we're on the conversation of directors and people at board level and all that kind of stuff, as most people have probably already seen, David Gill did an interview with Rio Ferdinand, I believe. And I thought one of the quotes coming out from that interview was interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So, David Gill, he's told 5UK he thinks there would be less negative stories around the club if we were doing better on the pitch. You don't see as much coming out of City or Liverpool, but they're having a better season. We have to get back to doing better, and I think there'll be less negative stories. I'm reading about the Sir Bobby Charlton stand leaking roof. Trust me, that roof's leaked. When we were there, success covers up a lot of issues, and it kind of goes back to what we've always said. Especially you in Chivy when Ineos first came in, where you're kind of talking about like it doesn't, as long as you are winning on it, we've already got commercial success. Yeah. So if you turn us into a machine, a winning machine, everything else will naturally fall in place, right?
Yeah, we're already attractive to sponsors and fans across the world and stuff like that because of our name, like who we are, Manchester United, one of the most recognised clubs on the planet. I think probably in the top three. I think it's probably Barca, us, and Real Madrid is probably the top three clubs in the world. So we're already popular. So I don't think we'd have an issue attracting sponsorships, attracting money, getting investment, that stuff. But just imagine how much you could attract if you were winning. If you're winning trophies, you're winning titles, you've got some of the best players on the planet. Like under Fergie, there was stuff going on behind the scenes that we've not known about until like many years later, like Roy Keane getting arrested before a cup final and Fergie having to go bail him out. There's stuff going on with Ryan Giggs, like, you know what I mean? There's been stuff, Rio's talked about it, like there's been stuff going on, but nobody cared because we were just winning title after title, trophy after trophy, and Fergie got them performing on the pitch no matter what. So he is right to an extent, and I think me and Chivy have spoken on it. Like if you get stuff right on the pitch, it becomes easier to sort of explain away, say, a leaky roof, or it becomes easier to explain away like little things. Not that shouldn't be dealt with, like, because I think it should be. Like, you should want to have the best stadium in the world, world-class facilities. But I think Ineos will bring that as well. But I think their concentration is we need to sort out this football club before the other stuff first. So I think that's what you're going to see the investment in at first, but I think the other stuff will come with time. Like, it's not, like you said, once you're winning, it's very easy to sort of just go, yeah, we're winning titles again. Who wants to sponsor us and who's got the biggest check? Like, makes it a lot easier.
Well, that's why it's a win-win for the Glazers, isn't it? Because they just say, yeah, of course you can have, sporting control. Because if you get it right, we're going to make fucking way more bank. We're already making bank at the minute. Yeah. We're going to make way more bank now, 100 million or whatever it was each to each sibling. And then when we sell it, 3 years, like if we sell it 3 years, 4 years down the line, we're going to make even more bank. So absolutely. And you want to inject 300 million quid of your own cash as well. No problem whatsoever. You can start to see the layers kind of peeling out and see, oh, right, yeah, this is why the Glazers have done it.
They never lose. They never lose.
No. And they probably looked at the plan in the Saturday, right? And they were so fucking astonished by it because they've done fuck all for 18 years. They looked at it like, wow, that's really good, that. Yeah, you know what? That will probably work. And they also like, yeah, this is needed doing for years, mate. Like,
they've probably not even looked at it. They've probably just looked at how much money they're getting. Like, how much money are we getting? Yeah. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. And if they succeed, how much money would we get? Okay, we get that much. Cool, yeah, absolutely.
That's literally it.
They probably not even looked at the trading ground sort of proposals, that he's going to fix the stadium up, any of that, hiring a sporting director. Don't give a shit about that. It's just like, how much money are we getting? That's all we care about.
I just have a feeling if it goes the wrong way, which my gut instinct tells me in a minute it isn't, for whatever that's worth. But if it does, I think it's getting really, really messy. Yeah. Because the Jim's come in, injecting his own cash, taking shit on his own, and it's just, I don't know. That is the other side of the deal that I don't even want to look at in a moment. I'm just like, just please get it right at the minute, because if it goes fucking south, I can't be asked for another 3-4 years of like, Jim's gonna sue fucking Avram and he's gonna do this and da da da. Yeah. I hope that we're never in that situation in the future.
I think that's why they've sort of separated it out. I think that's why Sir Jim has got, sporting control, because clearly the Glazers don't give a shit about that. They don't care what happens on the pitch or the stadium or what have you. So he can basically tinker and do whatever he wants because the Glazers don't really care. Like, they're quite happy with, as long as they're getting like Champions League money every couple of years and that kind of stuff. Yep. Like, they're all right. So they don't really care what he does with that, so he can take his time and do the correct things and tinker and change and tweak stuff. I think if he was then to go across and try and interfere in the commercial ventures and that sort of stuff, I think that's when they might sort of butt heads and things might cause a bit of friction. But they clearly don't give a shit about the football, because why would they give him sporting control? Like, you know what I mean? If you owned a football club, why would you let somebody come in at 25% and you go, yeah, you do all the football stuff? Why would you let them do that if you were interested in it? So it just shows that their lack of interest completely in the football club.
100%. Just before we get to the last thing, I'm just going to read out the last comments. Thank you as well for always continue to engage. Make sure you leave a like on the video for us if you can. Eriksen's value is 13 million quid. I think we'd do well to get 13, in my opinion, but that's fair. Ratcliffe has been approved by the shareholders, of course. Sancho will be gone too, maybe. I imagine so. I mean, it's in our best interest in it for Sancho to do well at Dortmund. Yeah. So
I forgot about him, to be honest with you. I totally forgot
everyone
about
has. Him. Yeah, it's you know what, when you look at the situation with Marcus and when he came back from Belfast, it is as easy as that. Yeah. That's all you had to do. Come back, get an assist, get a goal, and everyone fucking forgets.
Just don't put stuff out publicly. Like, literally, like, you didn't even have to apologise, because apparently, when I read the Rashford thing, there was no sort of thing of apology there. It was just he's took responsibility, and he understands the thing. So that's all. If Sancho didn't put that tweet out and just internally was like, "Yeah, I fucked up. Like, let's just forget this. Let's carry on," he'd been fine. But he decided he had to put that tweet out, and that's basically why he's not at the club anymore, because he put it out and then refused to sort of apologise for it. So
that's what I mean. That's the other side of it. You could have just gone down that route and you'd probably still be at the club, and you'd probably get him minutes, because Anthony's been fucking woeful, and he's really doesn't want to give Ahmad a chance. So your opportunity window.
Pellistri's gone as well.
Yeah,
he's not here.
It's just crazy, absolute madness to me.
Garnacho's took his opportunity.
Garnacho on that right hand side now. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm kind of glad. Like, Ten Hag's obviously seen some of that right wing now. He's better on the right wing for me. I love him on that side. He's much better. So the balance is like perfect now. Last few thing is Dortmund's announced he's injured. Oh, Sancho's injured already.
Jesus Christ.
He's only played a couple of games. The world was very different when there was no multimedia like we've got today, says Charlie. Absolutely spot on, mate. Whilst we're on the discussion of attackers, Rasmus Højlund done an interview today on the United Stand, And I don't always talking about United stand, but the interview was relatively decent, and he comes across. I just think that comes across like a solid professional. Like he's got his head in the right for such a young kid, such a big price tag coming from where he's come from. He's grounded. That's how it seems it comes across to me, and I think he's a talented player, and I think a lot of people are going to look back at that price tag, and it's going to look like a bit of a bargain basically if he develops the way I think he's going to. But I didn't want to do a kind of whole speech on Højlund and talk about it in depth. He got asked about his all-time Manchester United five-a-side team, and I wanted to ask you, can you pick yours? So just for the viewers as well, I want your five-a-side best. That I've not said that right. Your all-time Manchester United five-a-side team. Sam, go for it.
I have to go Schmeichel. I don't like some of the stuff he did after United, but on the pitch, I think he was probably the best goalkeeper.
Your favourites. It don't have to necessarily be the best.
Yeah,
but, you know.
I grew up on Schmeichel. Like that's what I grew up with. Like I was 11 when the treble happened, so like it's my sort of era. That Schmeichel. Vidic in defence, one of my favourite defenders of all time. I can't help it, man. Yeah. He's one of my favourites.
Nah, yeah. I already know you five-a-side before you said it, but just for viewers' consent. Like,
midfield, Scholes, and probably Giggs. I'd go with Scholes and Giggs, and then striker Robin van Persie.
Oh, that surprised me. I thought you would have gone Ruud.
Ruud's fantastic. Ruud's probably a second choice, but Robin van Persie, I think, finishing. Probably one of the best finishers on the planet, I think. Yeah. I think he's up there. Five-a-side. With Scholes in the midfield, you ain't getting the ball. Like, it's not happening, is it? Like,
I bet that five-a-side he's so fucking good, you know.
Yeah.
Like, in his pomp as well, I bet he was just one of those. You know those guys who play sometimes semi-pro and they just keep hold of it really, really good? Imagine that on crack times 10. Well, you ain't getting anywhere near him.
Did you see when he came back from retirement and he played in a boots that he bought from Sports Direct for like 25
Yeah.
He just don't, like,
it's so casual. He doesn't even look like a footballer. It's literally outrageous that he does not look like he doesn't even, when he talks, he's just like such an average guy.
It's like just some
but he's one of the world's elite.
It's just for a dude from Oldham who just happens to be one of the best midfielders to ever walk
It's so crazy to me that I watched him at fucking Soccer Aid, right? And he was pinging balls left, right, centre. Like, I thought, I was said at the time because we had Fred McTominay in midfield, like, you could actually put him in that midfield and just say, sit in front of the defence.
Don't run anywhere.
Yeah. Just, just compose, mate. Do your thing. Yeah, Scholes, great shout.
The guy is the only midfielder that Zidane, Xavi Alonso, and Iniesta all said it was the best midfielder in the world. If those midfielders are saying he's the best in the world, like...
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's yours?
A lot of people said mine. Edwin in net. You know, I won't go Schmeichel. And more to the point, like I was more in my teenage years when United won in Moscow, so it's more my kind of thing. Defender, who I like. I don't know if this is a recency bias. I really like Lisandro. I'm not just saying it. Now, he hasn't won what the other players have won. I'm not saying he's as good as him. But in terms of my personal favourite, who I really like...
If you had him on your five-a-side team, I'd be fucking buzzing.
Exactly.
I'd be proper happy. I'm like, he's my defender. Well. I'm like, yes.
He's got the right height, the right aggression, the right tempo. He's got everything perfect for five-a-side. So, and ball-playing ability. Don't even talk to me about that. So, Licha in the midfield. I'd have to go Scholes as well because I think I've go Keane. It's just going to get too aggressive in that
people
line.
People get sent off.
Yeah, I mean you wouldn't want to play the team, but Scholes just because I think he's arguably our greatest. Well, he is our greatest midfielder ever in terms of technical ability. But Carrick deserves a massive shout as well.
If not picking Scholes, Carrick probably would have been.
Carrick, for sure, man. Fucking serious player. Cristiano has to go in there for me. Obsessed when he came from Sporting Lisbon. Was just my absolute idol on the wing.
Step over
and then
shit, like, in their five-a-side.
So good. And then striker, I have to go Wazza. I have to go Wayne Rooney. Because you've got Ronaldo in there, he complements everyone who he played with. He actually said the other day, I don't know if you saw it, about Tevez being his favourite partner.
Yeah.
Because all the other strikers that he worked with, he had to supply them, and he was always dropping, whereas Tevez would put the shift in and drop for him.
Well,
Wayne Rooney.
Tevez was the bulldog, wasn't he? Just get about the pitch and just get hold of the ball, interrupt.
He was really good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah. I think our best front three of all time is probably Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo.
Yeah, unreal.
Arguably,
unreal.
I don't see many people better in that, like as a front three. Like I can't see a better one. But
yeah, both great choices if I do say so myself. Dino's got put his in there. Says Van der Sar, Stam, Scholes, Ronaldo, and Rooney.
That's a good team.
Yeah. It's Sam's put Edwin, Vidic, Scholes, Ronaldo, and Rooney as well.
Yeah.
Sam, good team. So Dino Lewis is like his side. And Stam was a beast as well. Yep, Stam, yeah. I don't feel like I appreciate Stam as much because, again, he was at the club for 3 years and I was 4 at the time. So I've watched clips back, but it's different.
It's so disappointing because he was so good.
Yeah.
And I think he was the only player that Fergie regret letting go. He was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he fell out with Beckham and he fell out with like loads of different players, but he said the only player he regrets is Stam because he was that good. So
I thought it was interesting what he said about Lisandro as well. When he did the Gary Neville thing.
Yeah.
He said he thinks he's a really good defender, great temperament, reads the game well, worries about him slightly aerially and pace-wise as well in certain situations. But he's still only, I think he's only 24, Lisandro.
Yeah, he's not.
That's the crazy thing.
He's not even in his prime yet. Like, it's not.
No, like 24 years old. That is nuts. I'm 4 years older than Licha. It's just fucking crazy, man. So, yeah, he's got plenty of years left in the tank, and hopefully, we wish him all the best. Basically, and I think that's the best way to end the show. Yeah, 100%. Right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully, Monday hasn't been too shit for you. And if you can, please do leave a like on the video for us. Any kind of feedback, any videos you'd like to see as well. And make sure you drop us a follow on socials. Anything else, Sam?
Yeah, share the video. Like, if you know United fans or you know football fans in general, just share us with your friends. The best sort of advertising we can do is if people tell other people about us, and that's how we spread, because we want to get bigger and we want to do better content. We want to do more stuff, and the only way we can do that is more people watch the channel. So if you know someone, send them a link, send them a clip. There's loads of stuff about. Just send them something. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All the best, people. You're all a bunch of legends, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.
We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out. We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out. We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out.